One of my favourite things about kindness is that it is highly contagious. An estimate of the R number of kindness is somewhere between 3 and 5. You know, R number's reproducibility rate, a measure of how contagious something is. But what's even more amazing is researchers measured the ripple effect of kindness out to what's called 3 degrees of separation, or 3 social steps. So let me use the R number of 5 to really hit home what this means. So let's suppose you do something kind for someone today, right? It doesn't have to be something huge. As I've said in one of the earlier videos, you don't have to change someone's life for it to count as an act of kindness. It's the little things that matter quite a lot, actually. So let's suppose you do something kind for someone today. What happens now is you do the kind thing, you say or do something, and then you go on with the rest of your day. What you don't see is what happens next. See, because of how you made that person feel, that person will now, over the course of the rest of the day or so, that person will now go on to be kind, or a little bit kinder, to 5 people. That's the R number of 5. Simply because of how you made them feel. And those 5 people are at 1 degree of separation from you. They're 1 degree separate from you, 1 social step away from you. But if you had a wee drone, not that you would do this, but if you did have a wee drone and you happened to track the behaviours of those 5 people, then what you would find is over the course of the next day or so, because of how they feel receiving some kindness, whether it's kind words or kind act, each of those 5 will probably be kind or a little bit kinder to 5 people. So now what you have is 25 people at 2 degrees of separation from you, 2 social steps away from you, who have received an act of kindness. But kindness goes to 3 degrees of separation. If you happen to have a wee swarm of drones, not that you would do this, but if you did, and you tracked these people over the course of the next day or so, what you would find, probably, on average, this isn't an exact science here, but on average, you'll find each of those 25 will probably be kind or kinder to 5 people because of how they feel being on the receiving end of some kind words or actions. And now what you have is 125 people, that are thereabouts, who are now at 3 degrees of separation from you, 3 degrees separate from you, i.e. 3 social steps away from you. 125 people, isn't that remarkable? It's like you drop a wee you walk past a pond and you just casually flick a pebble into the pond and it lands with a plop, and then you go on with your day. You walk away not really paying attention. You walk away, get on your bus or your train or into your car or go somewhere, and what you don't see is the pebble lands in the pond with a wee plop and it creates a wee wave, and the wee wave moves out over the pond, and at the other side of the pond there's lily pads doing that, and the lily pads have no idea why they're doing that, but they're doing that because of the wave. But what set the wave in motion was the pebble that you casually dropped into the pond. Now the pebble is a metaphor for an act of kindness, and the waves in the pond are the ripple effect of kindness. And it's not lily pads that are being lifted, it's people's feelings, it's people's happiness, it's people's smiles that are being lifted. And I put it to you that you're doing that all the time. You just don't notice it. Even in those days when you feel small and insignificant, and we all have those days. I have those days, despite the fact that it might, people we often make assumptions of each other, but we're all human. And I have these days when I sometimes feel small and I feel like I'm, not contributing in the way that you might think. But I put it to you, even when you have those days where you don't feel that you're making a difference, you absolutely are. Every single day, all the little things that you say and do, all of these have a ripple effect. And it's not always 125 people. Sometimes it's more, and sometimes it's a wee bit less. But the point is, every day you're creating ripples. Every single day of your life, you're making a difference in the world significantly. You just don't notice it because you're not following people around and tracking all their behaviours. So for today's exercise, what I'd love for you to do is just notice the ripple effect happening. Notice if it happens to you. Notice if someone supports you in some way, someone says something kind or does something kind, even a wee thing for you. Just notice how it makes you feel, and notice how, because of how you feel, you feel lifted, elevated, to use the correct term, then you find yourself, because of that, being a little kinder to other people, maybe doing something or just being a little kinder than you ordinarily would, perhaps. So you're paying it forward. You're passing the ripple effect. You're keeping the ripple effect going. And just notice if you see any examples of that happening in other people. Maybe you might not see it because it depends on what opportunities you have, but just notice. If you do see it, just notice it happening. If someone receives an act of kindness, a few kind words, just notice what happens next. Sometimes it's really quick, sometimes it takes a wee bit longer, but just pay attention to the ripple effect. And I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.